I tell you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she just can't decide what she wants to do. We've seen her try, to be the influencer, the exercise guru, dancer, a mother, an artist. Let's not forget an artist, a writer, an actress, comedian. We've seen all these different eras, right? Now we have this era where Team Gypsy battles every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Together we rise, together we win. That sounds so cheesy, Gypsy. Together we rise, together we win. Come on now. And what? I think she's gonna what? She's gonna battle what? Her friend Kel Rocky? Because she's not brave enough to, just do a random battle. And she says here, make a stand with me. What are we standing up for, Gypsy? Because it's definitely not justice for your mother or justice for Nicholas Godejohn. So what are we standing for? And did you see that somebody, some real Einstein, I guess, sent her a lion in one of these last battles she did with Kel Rocky? A lion. I looked it up, and a lion, it said something about depending on how you pay or something, is worth between $400 and $450. And Gypsy would get like half of that, so she would get $225. Gypsy does not need people's money. I don't get it. Her net worth is something like $3 million or something. It may even be more by this point. I don't know. Last time I checked, they said her net worth was like $3 million. So why are people just throwing money at her for nothing? For her to sit there and pretend she don't know what she's doing. Put on an act like she always does. And, she had the comments disabled on this post. And then she had another one where she's advertising her Gypsy Rose podcast channel on YouTube. Comments off. I don't get it. And then, now this is real shitty at Gypsy, okay? Audrey, Audacious Audrey, and she's one of the anti-Gypsy creators. She's good. She's real good. She had announced her mother had a house fire. Her mother's house burnt down. So, she was doing GoFundMe to help get her mother a place to live, right? So Gypsy made this post, I think it was on, on IG, where she's wearing, it's AI, of course, she's wearing a cheerleader uniform that says Morbid's #1 fan. That in itself is stupid. I mean, now you're his #1 fan, just because now he's kissing your ass? He's got a motive too. Was just not so anti-Gypsy and all of a sudden, switched around, wants to be her best friend. There's some kind of motive involved in this. You're not gonna, he's a piece of shit too, but there's something there, some kind of motive, right? But anyways, and then behind her in this cheerleading uniform is a house on fire. That is low down. And then on the GoFundMe, we don't know for sure if it was really her, but a $5 donation from Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It could have been someone just used her name or whatever. But, that was shitty, though, to try to make fun of it. You're at a cheerleading in front of a burning home. Karma's going to catch you, little girl, one of these days. But, yeah, whatever. So then, let's see, So then I decided, well, let me check out her podcast channel over there on YouTube. Because she says videos coming soon. Well, she just had 2 posts. And one of the posts, again, was a picture of her with Paul Bunyan or Paul Brunson. That's his name, Paul Brunson. From that We Need to Talk podcast. The one We Need to Lie podcast. And, the same old nonsense. She felt so safe, and it's so good to be heard, and someone to give her the room to talk, and blah, 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 lies, lies, lies. So, this is the other post. I found this one a little interesting. She says, I've had a lot of people asking what my podcast is going to be about. So I wanted to take a moment to share a little about what you can expect. This podcast is really rooted in something I care deeply about. Well, we know it wasn't your mother. The idea that our past does not have to define who we are forever. Well, I hate to tell you, Gypsy, but you'll always be a schmurderer. We all have chapters of our lives we're not proud of, moments that changed us, mistakes we've made. Ooh, I'm annoying myself with this voice. Let's move on. Or hardships we've endured. But I believe we're all more than the worst thing we've ever done or the worst thing that's ever happened to us. Through this podcast, I'll be having honest, heartfelt conversations with people from all walks of life. Survivors, advocates, experts, public figures, and individuals whose lives have been shaped by trauma, adversity, loss, public scrutiny, or personal transformation. Together, we'll talk about where they've been, what they've overcome, what they've learned, and how they've continued moving forward. I'll also be sharing parts of my own journey. Oh, so you'll also be telling some more lies. Okay, I get it. And she just seems to think these advocates, public figures, survive. She sure thinks there's just people lined up a mile long to get on this podcast, huh? I really can't see who would want to be on this podcast, but whatever. I'll be opening up about my life, my relationships, the lessons I've learned, the mistakes I've made, and the growth I've experienced along the way. The growth. She has had no growth. None. Some conversations may be difficult. Some may be inspiring. Nothing coming from you is inspiring, Gypsy, but... And some may simply remind us that we're all human. We'll talk about healing, resilience, second chances, relationships, personal growth, something she knows nothing about, survival, hope, and what it really means to rebuild your life when things don't go as planned. Yeah, just to murder your mom and, make a big story about it, something that pulls at the heartstrings of the public. And, just expand on that lie and just keep it going. Just double down on that lie no matter what. And, get paid for being a schmurderer. Yeah. Yeah, and, fancy yourself a celebrity and all that. Yeah. That's what you do, More than anything, I want this to be a space for honest conversations. Honest? Gypsy Rose ain't been honest a day in her life. A place where people can share their stories without judgment, where we can learn from one another. I do not want to learn anything from you, Miss Blanchard. The only thing you can teach someone is what? Your mother? That's about the only thing you could teach anybody is what kind of weapon to buy. Oh, she's disgusting. Let's see. And we can explore the reality that growth is possible for all of us. I am so excited to begin this journey with you, and I can't wait to share these conversations in the months ahead. Well, ChatGPT, you did a wonderful job of writing that for Miss Gypsy Rose, because we know there ain't no way. We've seen the way she writes, the way she spells, her lack of punctuation. So that's all AI written. And I'm going to be very surprised if this podcast really ever does take off. But let me know what you think about it all.